I'm Katrina, and this is So Tare. Today we're talking about housing. How tall should it be? Let's find out. So we're going to work our way from the big aviaries, mine's not that big, but bigger area aviaries, all the way down to your cage system throughout this video. We're going to start big and go small. So here we go. This is one of my aviaries. This is the main quail aviary. And in order for quail to not break their necks, there's some height things that they need to abide by, or there's some height things that your structures need to abide by. So the first is, if they're going to be in an aviary setting, the height should be 6 feet or above. The reason for that is Coturnix quail, they tend to jump, and they don't really fly off, you know, gracefully. They jump and then glide down. So that jump basically tops out right below 6 feet tall. So that is what this aviary and what the raviary over there is designed for. But let me show you something you might not be thinking about when you're building. So something you might not be thinking about if you do deep litter like I do is that you're a giant. No, you're not really. When you have deep litter, that is going to go up and up and up and up and up until you no longer have 6 feet. Now this right here, they pretty much tap the top of this. It's not that big of a deal, but we do need to sift out this compost and take it out of the system, and then we'll drop it back down. We'll add more wood chips to it. You guys have to think about this, because these little guys, they are going to bump their heads otherwise. So that is something to think about, is how high is your aviary roof. This would also apply if you have a walk-in tractor system for like on pasture. So this aviary, this is a raviary because I have rabbits and quail. This raviary is much more appropriately height, has a much more appropriate height. We built it with a higher roof than the other aviary, and that aviary is going to be getting a new roof at some point, probably this summer. So we'll be alleviating that need for extra height. Now if you look over here, we have a sandbox. The other one has a sandbox as well. Sandbox heights should adhere to basically the recommendations for cage systems. So cage systems are typically between 8 and 12 inches is good. Some people go as high as 18 inches, and that tends to work. So basically what happens is, when a quail jumps, it's jumping from, you know, from ground level up, and at some point it gets up to speed, right? So within those you know, less than a couple feet, it's still getting speed. About 5 feet, it starts to stop. It starts to stop getting a momentum going up. So in between that is where you have neck injuries or breaking of neck or head injuries, because they have forcefully moved up into the ceiling or into the roof. So let's go inside. I'll show you how I make rabbits and quail work. So here is one of the sandboxes. Open it up. Oh. Everybody's in there, huh? And that's how the sand is a little bit low now. Yeah, sorry to interrupt you guys. Continue, please. I know the lid's off, but that's how high it is. You can see it's probably about a little over a foot above the line right now. The line usually comes up to right below the doorway there. You gonna come in? Not sure. All right, I'll close it. So as you can see, there's not much light in here right now because it's been cloudy all day. So we've been having a lot of rain. We're expected to get more rain. So I'm taking this opportunity to come out here and show you this before we get poured on for the next, I don't know, half a week. So I have in this raviary, which is, you know, very tall, not very tall, it's over 6 feet. I have quail and I have rabbits. So my little girl rabbits here, they're going to be separated here soon. But these are our two new breeders. If you haven't watched that video of introducing to them, I'll link it up here. And I thought they're gonna come over when I put my hand in, but they're cuddling. So how do we make this work? I have to rake in the, I have to rake in the manure. So they don't do that. That's on me. So I have to do that. But what do you do when there's hutches and there's space underneath? And that is in the danger zone right now, right? So here is the solution. Now I do have this extra danger right here of a bar, but it's one bar. So I have this aviary netting. I had to cut it to get stuff out. I have this aviary netting on the bottom. So it looks like this, and it's strung on the bottom. All right, so there's the bunnies right there. And that's the aviary netting. Now I stretched that pretty tight. Sorry, you get to see bunny butts. And that prevents them from hurting their heads. Hi. Yeah, you. So that prevents them from hitting their heads because it is soft enough that they can really literally bounce off. So they don't jump there very much. They do jump out in this open area. And when it stormed and they stopped laying eggs, we did have one die. It probably hit its head somewhere, but it does reduce the potential that's going to happen when you have some aviary netting under that. And like I said, there's the one piece of wood that comes across that is, a danger zone, but we're playing a game of probability there, and in hopes that it won't be an issue. So yeah, that's how I have rabbits and quail in the same area. And I have videos on how I deal with the manure and all of that. But I wanted to show you guys height-wise what the recommendations are. And if you can't meet those recommendations, this is definitely a way to make it safe. So that's what I did here. It's been working, and I've had it here for a long time. I don't remember how long, but I've had it here for a long time and it's been working. So I recommend using aviary netting is what it's called, as long as the holes are not big enough to hit. Hi. As long as the holes are not big enough to fit their heads through, then they'll be fine. They'll just bounce right off. All right, on to some cage systems. So the next housing structure that we have is this Quailmobile. Now this is something that I made, Quailmobile, I like the name, and it is basically a garden cart. You can see the handle here. It's on wheels, and I'll show you the other side of it in a minute. But this has a lid over it that, when they're actually in there, I don't have any in there right now, but this holds up to 15 or 16 quail, and that's where the grow outs are. And this is about 9 inches tall, so that's within that, I think it's 9 or 10, but that's within that at safe distance, and they do great in here. So that's what we do here, and that's what like if you have Wynola Ranch or Dale's Quail's cages, they're going to be within, that 8 to 12 inches as well. So those are the three kind of types of housing that people typically have. Is an aviary, which is tall, a mid-height container of sorts, whether that's a hutch or something else. People use rabbit hutches. You can do that too, and using the aviary netting as a safety, or having it low like this Quailmobile. So those are the three things, and I have one more thing to show you inside. Now it has been raining, but that is the food, and we just use waters in there, chick waters. I do have plans to have an actual waterers in there that with cups. I'll put a link to the video that I have on how to make that here. And this is an adaptation of the Ultimate Quail Feeder, so I'll put that link there. I will be having a video on how we built these. I just haven't put it together yet. There's so much video content. But they're working and they do great. All right, so we're back inside. I'm doing my squats now. Back inside, and this is our brooder. So, You've seen this in other videos. We will be having a build video on that because we did finalize our poop tray system. I didn't want to do a video and then go, oh yeah, we changed this one thing. I wanted to wait until we knew it worked and worked well and go from there. So this is the brooder that we have, and we actually use, it's quite tall, and you don't have to have a brooder that's tall, that's fine, but they do, the quail do end up popcorning, so they jump up and they jump up and they're just very uncoordinated at that age. And I have a very large window screen. So this is literally a window screen that I got for free from, well, somebody that was getting rid of windows. But this is just a window screen and they bounce off it all the time. I've never had anybody have a problem with, you know, getting hurt or getting a broken neck or anything in here. So window screen works great, and it's free usually. So you can get window screens for free from your local window place. So when the window places install new windows, they have to take those old windows and the old window screens, and all they do is they throw them away, and they have to pay to throw them away. So approach your local window store and see if they have old window screens, or maybe you're like, hey, I'm looking for a really big one. When you come across it, can you tell me? And you might have to check in with them several times. But that is something that I think is a really great idea. It is soft enough that they don't break their necks, and they bounce off this very they explode when they start popcorning. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this answers some questions about the height requirements for your quail and the reasoning why they have it. So keep it low when they don't have enough space to get very fast. So it's kind of like if you were to jump and you hit your head, like, we've all hit our head on the corner of something, right? And you get up fast, or you underneath the counter, and it hurts. It hurts, but you're okay, right? You're not injured. Now, if you were doing that same speed and you were from farther away, that would potentially injure you. So it's the same concept with that. And then the height, the very tall height, that's just realizing that is where the momentum stops. And I've been in the aviary before, and they flush, and they literally, I've had them touch their wings to the top, but that's it. I've never heard them or seen them actually bump their body up against that height. So that's something to keep in mind. And then if you have a situation, or if you are looking to maximize your space, like I have with the aviary, rabbits and quail, if you're looking to maximize your space, then you are able to use that aviary netting as a safeguard. So basically what you're saying is, yeah, go ahead, get some momentum, but we're going to have something that's soft so that when you do hit your head, it's not lethal or, otherwise harmful. So that is the goal, and I hope you found this interesting and engaging and answer some of your questions. So if you like this video, please hit the thumbs up, and if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe and hit the bell notification. I have lots of quail and non-quail related content on my channel, so hit that bell notification so you get all the content. I want you to get all the content. And share it with someone who is looking at building a structure for their quail, looking at building their home, building a cage, building a hutch, building an aviary, building a tractor. Share it with someone so that they know what's safe and don't have to recreate what they build after they built it. So thank you for watching, and enjoy the day.